Hi, my name's John Neltner. I have a wife, Rebecca Neltner, 3 kids, Henry, Millie, and Olivia. Growing up, my grandfather had a farm. My wife grew up on a farm again next door to where we live right now. Always had an interest as growing up working at my grandfather's farm, and kind of through the course of when my wife and I dated and then got married, we kind of knew that we wanted to have property. Didn't know if we'd be able to farm ourselves just due to the land availability in Campbell County, because we did want to live in the area, and it's difficult to come across that. So we weren't positive on what that looked like as far as whether or not we'd have our own farm, but we wanted to be involved. Fortunately, her family's farm, would provide some involvement, but we were able to come across the land ourselves and build our own farm. We came about this property roughly 5 years ago. We've got 134 acres. The farm that we operate is located in California, Kentucky. We're fortunate that we've got family that owns farms in the surrounding California area, so we operate and function as a group and a family, which is great and a benefit, and just a life experience that I never expected, to be able to have it as basically the community you live in, works together, and friends and neighbors that you live around, we're always helping each other out. It's a close-knit community, and love being out here. As a family, we operate 12 Mile Beef, which is a beef cattle operation that raises freezer beef, and we've been growing that the last few years with the large demand of freezer beef in the area. We've grown the business to operate between the 3 farms in the family, between my brother-in-law Chad and mother-in-law Cindy. We rotate the cattle between the farms. We're fortunate to have 2 adjacent farms that we're able to connect pastures, so we're constantly rotational grazing with the cattle. We'll spring calve and fall calve, which gives us a constant supply of calves that we're raising up that are all farm raised to finish, no hormones, no antibiotics, and then marketing as that's USDA inspected, so we'll take it to a certified processor, and then we're able to sell it as retail meat. Right now we're selling a lot of sample boxes and smaller beef products. The halves and quarters are still constant, but we've been more focused on the small amounts of selling individual cuts, which seems to be what the consumer is looking for right now. Given the amount of money that you have to put into a farm to get things moving, I've been fortunate to apply for grants between the USDA, NRCS, and the Campbell County Conservation District for various programs throughout about 5 years of increasing the property around the farm. So starting with fencing, getting grant money for fences, handling facilities, just various things to improve the facilities and the grounds around here. The programs are designed to obviously the conservation of the farm, so improving things where it would be more safer handling facilities for the cattle. Here I started with fencing. This did not have any pasture, so everything here was had older fencing that wouldn't hold anything in. So we removed all the old fencing and then also added pasture. So I've got 3 bigger pastures that we use grant money to get new fencing supplies, and then we've also applied for grants that help out with heavy use areas where cattle are always standing, so feeding areas where they might be constantly gathering, improving the grounds there. I'm going through, right now I got approval to put in a manure handling facility. So currently I push my manure into a pile off of my lot, just into a pile into a pasture. And the grant is to build a concrete pit to push the manure in so you don't have runoff into the creeks. So next year I'll be building a manure pit there. I've also gotten money for handling facilities, scales, waters. We put waters off of a pond, and continual improvements, which is soil testing. They provide, the Extension Office provides free soil tests, so we consistently take soil samples to monitor the levels into the ground. You can get grant money. We've gotten money for putting down lime on the hay fields, as well as there is improvements for weed management, so spraying weed control certain times of the year to keep up with better quality hay. And seeding, there's a, I don't think we got money for it, but we consistently drill clover and other natural legumes into the ground to cut down on some of the fertilizer costs to provide the natural nitrogen from the legume itself. It's been great working with the Campbell County Conservation District and the Extension Office. They provide great resources for questions as you progress. Each year is a little bit different, presents its own challenges depending on economically and Mother Nature, as well as just having other full-time job. So you're constantly trying to pick and choose what you can do on the farm, since it's not a full-time farm. I couldn't do this by myself, and I'm very fortunate that I've got a great family. My wife has been tremendous. Me and her work together as a team, but we've also got our family as a whole. So my family helps out her family. Just very fortunate to have the family we do, and the community as well, when friends and family get together to work on projects and help each other out. Couldn't do it by myself.